Hi everyone and welcome to another review, and today I'm going to be having a look at the MEZCO 112 Collective Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Superman action figure. Anyways, here we have the package, so I'll start off with that as per usual. You get the nice slip cover with the logo 112 Collective, the character's name here and the film it's from there. And then along the top you just have 112 Collective. On the side you have this nice kind of gunmetal pattern with 112 Collective, the logo, Batman v Superman again. Same thing on the opposite side. On the back, or the bottom I should say, you just have this stuff. This is a sticker that's on the slip cover. And then on the back you get a couple of images showing off the figure, as you can see here. So you know, you just got him ripping apart sewer grate, the laser eyes, angry face, normal, and then up there again you get the laser eyes with the cape and whatnot, looking pretty cool. And yeah, it's nice, you know. This just slides off, revealing the gunmetal like look to it. And then along the back you get this nice picture of Supes himself in black and white, which looks cool. And then opening it up you get this really nice kind of glossy logo here. I really like they added this along it, you know, compared to like the Man of Steel one. It looks a lot nicer, I think. And in here we've got the figure, which you really can't see because of all the glare, but don't worry, I'll be getting that all out of package. So yeah, stick around for that, guys. Okay then guys, to start off with, we'll have a look at his accessories, and he comes with 4 sets of interchangeable hands, including the fisted hands he comes standard with. So just here, what we have is a nice set of open, like kind of, I don't know what you're gonna call them, palm striking hands, if everyone wants to focus in on it, that is. Come on, work with me. There we go. And they're essentially just like kind of open, like they're about to grab someone or something. You know, they look pretty cool. They have some nice detail along them. Ooh, come on, work with me. Come on, please, please, please. And yeah, you know, you got the fingernails and whatnot there. You got some sculpting lines on the back, but you know, nothing much you can do about that. And yeah, you know, it looks pretty cool for what it is. And then you get a set of gripping hands, which can be used for the sewer cover. So they're pretty cool. Once again, same jazz, you know, with the fingernails and whatnot. It looks pretty nice. And you know, it's nice that they included them. And this is a pretty cool accessory actually. And then here you've got flight hands, which pretty much every Superman needs to come with. So they're really nice as well. I'm glad they included them. If you want to see pictures of them with like interchangeable, me using the interchangeable hands and whatnot, stick around to the end. I'll have a bunch of photos come up at the end of the review. And then here we have the first of 3 heads. Ooh, come on camera, work with me. There we go. Now, on camera, I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't do it as much justice as when you see it in person, but it looks like he has a really sloppy looking 5 o'clock shadow on camera. It doesn't look that bad in person, you know, with all the freckles and whatnot on him. I think it looks nice. I'm glad that they did this, you know, they are a more higher end expensive action figure line, so it looks really cool, I think. The hair's done really nice as well, as you can see. Bleeds just ever so slightly, but oh well. Sculpt lines of the strands and everything looks really cool, as you can see there. He's of course gritting his teeth, which are actually all sculpted as well, just in there, as you can see. Yeah, I think the closer you get to it, the bigger like the freckle effect looks. But the further away you get, it looks a lot better. And in person, it really doesn't look that bad, I think. I know a lot of people complained about the skin complexion. I know when I first saw reviews of it, I thought it's far too pale. But you know, when you get it in person, it's not bad. And here we have his laser beam head, which I will include a photo of this, like actually working at the end of the review. It glows in the dark, you know, it looks alright. I'm not going to use it. It's pretty much exactly the same as this, but just with this paint job, you know, looking all snazzy and whatnot. But you know, it looks cool nonetheless. Aside from that, you get this Gotham City sewer cover. And the cool thing about this is, although it's really detailed, you know, it looks old. It's from I don't think it's from 1635. I just think this is like the serial number for the sewer cover or whatever. And it looks pretty cool, as you can see along the back here. A different pattern as well, which I really like. And you can see already what it does. It comes apart, and it feels like it's ever so slightly magnetically held together. Well, I don't know, hang on. It feels Yeah, you know, it just might be friction actually. I don't think it's magnets. But you know, it looks cool. There's a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Dry brushing. That's the word. I don't know why I struggled there, like within the cracks and everything. And there's a little bit of brown here, a little bit of brown near the H, you know, represents rust and whatnot. It looks really cool. He holds it well. And he actually uses this in the film, you know, when he lifts up a sewer cover, rips it in half, and then chucks it at those sound wave emitter things when he's fighting Batman. So that's really cool. You get your display stand, same as the Batman one, as you can see there. It's got the logo, it looks really nice. It's a bit too big for my liking, so I don't display them on this. And if you want to use the flight stand, you just push here, and as you can see there, it's rising up. Or you can just simply use that and push it out, but yeah, I don't do that. And then as per usual, you get your articulated flight stand, so you can pose him on that. Once again, I'll put photos of it all on the end. And you get this wire cape system, well not wire cape system, but what you do is you take this piece, plug it on there, you can then articulate that, and you can take one of these, plug it anywhere here that you like, for example there, and then you bend this, as this is a bendy wire, and you just clip the cape underneath here, which in theory isn't too bad, but it's just so fiddly. I just don't really like it. I'm not a big fan of wired capes, like as in, oops, sorry, that's come off now. But wired capes, I just don't know, there's something about them I just don't like. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, Soups. But yeah, I'd rather they didn't do wired capes, but you know, this is really fiddly. And with a bit of work, it can look really good, but I'm just happy displaying him standing anyway. Anyway, that's the accessories out of the way. Let's move on to the figure. Okay then guys, here we have the Man of Steel in question, and to start off with, I'll just show you his size. So if I just bring a tape measure in here, you can see he stands just over 6.5 inches tall, so he scales in pretty well with your other MEZCOs, especially that 112 Batman, which is a fantastic figure. But let's move on to this figure, shall we? Start off with the face. Now the face is really nice. It's essentially the same style as one of these, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but you have that nice kind of like detailing and everything on it. It looks really nice in person. There's a glossiness to the eyes which looks awesome. The paint is done pretty well. There's a little bit of a mark just under there which irks me to an extent, especially when you pay 80 quid, but it's nothing too bad that I'm going to cry about. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be happening, especially with figures that are this expensive. But you know, it's pretty nice. The ears and everything are sculpted nice. The hair strands and everything look really cool. And yeah, I think it looks quite a lot like him. Moving on to the costume. The Superman S looks really nice. It actually comes away from the suit there. It sticks out a little bit at the bottom here, which is a little bit worrisome, as you know, it might break because it's kind of a brittle plastic. But you've got the accurate logo that has that nice kind of like snake pattern going through it, which looks awesome. I really like the colour palette they used for the costume. I think it looks really nice, especially on the figure. It translates really well. And here you've got a little bit of plastic along here and along the back holding the cape, which I will get onto in just a second. The suit is made out of a really nice fabric-y material that looks kind of rubberish, which I think the Hot Toys one is a bit well, it is rubberish, so it has a very limited articulation, and the light just catches this beautifully. And it looks like a very it looks pretty dark on camera, but it actually is much darker in person. The photos at the end will do it a bit more justice, no pun intended. And then along the side here, you have that nice pattern going along here in the blue, as well as the gold here and there, you know, that kind of represents the utility belt that we're used to seeing. As you can see, that blue does carry all the way around down here, which looks really nice. And there's what the back of it looks like. It's a little bit busy in the back, you know, some people might not like it, but I think it looks alright. And then here we have the same deal with the wrists, which looks really cool. And I like that they've gone and coated it in plastic a little bit on the end, it looks like. So, you know, that way you won't get any fraying ends, which looks cool. And also, if I zoom back in, the pattern on the suit just looks lovely. Really nice. It's a nice stretchy material, you know, you get a hell of a lot of movement out of it. So, yeah, that's awesome. And then the boots. It appears that they've tried to give it like a wash, and you know, I think it looks nice. You know, I wasn't too fond of it when I first got it, but it's grown on me. It's not too bad of a wash. You have the nice cuts in the boots there, as well as some patterns going along here in that little slit, and a very nice pattern going along through the shoe. And on the bottom you just go, oh, is that dust or something? Yeah, that's of my doing. It's just something it's managed to pick up on my shelf. Same here. Peg holes, and you know, it looks really nice at the bottom of the shoes as well, with a nice tread. I have one issue, and that is that I find his feet are a bit too long. Even not comparing it to another action figure, if you look at that, you'll just think, wow, those feet are really long. And that's because they are. But yeah, it looks really nice. Oh, I haven't shown you the fisted hands yet, but you know, here they are. They look cool, as you can see. These are the ones that come on it by default. There are some nice crinkling and stuff there, you know, that actually represent what your hands look like. So that's really cool. If I just zoom out again, the cape is very big. Now, I find the cape might just be a little bit too big for a Superman. If I just... Yeah, that is a massive cape, and I think MEZCO, they own cloth capes. People have done it before, but MEZCO own it. Theirs are fantastic. For example, the Batman that coincides with this character, fantastic. The Hot Toys version was not good at all. I've seen reviews, the way the cape connects to the cowl section, and you know, the fact that it's got that crappy looking dirt effect on it is terrible. But that is not a review of the Batman, so I'm going to carry on talking about Supes here. The cape is nice, you know, it has a nice pattern on it. The only issue I find with MEZCO capes is my fingers tend to sometimes catch on the cloth. As you can see, will it pick it up on camera? There's a little bit, there it is, just there. As you can see, like near my thumb. It looks kind of tacky, but it's not a fault of the figures, it's just where my fingers and stuff catch on it. I have pretty disgusting fingers. But yeah, so I'm a bit careful as far as that's concerned. But you know, nonetheless, it looks pretty cool. Anyways, let's move on to his articulation. Now, he's very well articulated. He has a joint in the bottom of the neck as well as the top of the head. So he has two ball joints in the head, and this allows for some serious movement. You can go side to side, and as you can see, this also moves as well. And I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that. And you can look up a very nice amount. As you can see there, that is really cool. So you can get a really nice flight. You know, it doesn't look fully up, like as to the extent you can kind of half the joint, but then it just looks weird. As you can see, it'll just pop off. But you know, it's really cool. You can look down a very good amount, you know, so you can look all gloomy. You can get some really good side to side movements, as you can see there. That is really good. So I'm really happy with how that works. The only issue is you just have to like readjust the neck so the Adam's apple lines up and whatnot, but that's nothing too bad. You have butterfly joints, which you can see working ever so slightly. If I just... Yeah, their butterfly joints aren't the best. You have a ball joint in the arm, so you can go all the way up, all the way back, and they come out a fair amount as well. And it's a bit loose here, so it doesn't look like it's too baggy as well, so that's really good. You get a swivel in the bicep, double hinged elbows, and a swivel as well as a hinge in the wrists. And once again, if I just pop this off, as you can see, they're using that same peg system here where it's like kind of half connected with the plastic, as you can see there, which I really don't like as I fear it breaking one day. But you know, my advice is select a set of hands and then leave them on there for as long as you live, or at least until you sell the figure, which I won't do. Oop, move the camera. And then he has an ab crunch, which can go in that much and can go back that much. That's one of the ab crunches, and then he has a second one at the bottom. So if I use both, that is the range of motion you get, which is really good. The only problem then is it bunches up. And then if you use both to look up, actually if you use, yeah, you know, you can get a pretty good flight pose by doing that. So that looks really cool. You have a swivel at the top, ab crunch, no actual waist cut, but I can live with that. Ball hinged legs, which kick forward that much, they can come out to the side that much, and they can go back that much, so that's pretty good. You get a swivel at the top of the thigh, double hinged knees, a boot cut, which doesn't move that much, a swivel at the feet, as well as a hinge which goes down that much, up that much, and you get a tiny bit of ankle pivot, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's the articulation and detail over. So I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll just give you my final thoughts on this guy. For £80, you know, I'm not expecting MEZCO to have like 2 set price ranges, but it'd be nice if figures that don't come with much, for example this, the Flash, the Mutant Leader, the new Superman that they've released, to be about 60 or something like that, whereas the Batmans are like about 70, 80, but I don't expect them to come up with 2 separate price points for these figures. So £80 I paid for him. Do I feel like I got my money's worth? You know, it's a really nice figure, looks beautiful next to the Batman, but it just doesn't come with a lot. It's not a fault of the figures, it's it's the character, you know, he doesn't have much going on. But yeah, you know, I think it's worth it. If you're a big Superman fan, I'd recommend you get him. If you're looking to start a 1/12 army with MEZCOs, this probably isn't the one to start with. If you want to start with something like this, I'd recommend a Green Arrow, a Captain America, a Batman, or a Punisher. One of those, or a Star Trek one actually. They come with quite a few accessories as well. But as a whole, I do quite like this figure. I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Stick around for some awesome ACBA. Well, you know, I'll at least try anyway. And yeah, thank you for watching once again. Take care. Hi guys, a really quick add-on. I just wanted to quickly show you what the Superman figure looks like amongst all my other MEZCOs. So here we've got my BVS Superman alongside the BVS Batman. 3 of the MEZCO Batmans, the Mutant Leader just there. Still really love that figure. Cap, the modern one. The Cursed Earth Dread, regular Dread, and the Lawmaster. I want a bat signal as I don't have anywhere else to put it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick little size comparison there as to how he scales with the other MEZCOs. I think he scales really well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.